There we go. Alright. Welcome everyone to the 9th and penultimate round of FWL F1 Racing League at Monza, the Autodromo Nazionale Monza, for this 80-minute long qualifying session and a 27-lap race. Afterwards, we are joined by no one. It's only me commentating today. And before we start commentating properly, let's go and read these sponsors for Season 8 of FWL. So, starting from Davey Racing, providing a £5 Amazon gift card to the winner of Tier 2 and 3. FWL, the community side of this league, make sure to check them out. Great Finder supports over 40,000 sim races by helping them find leaks, commentators and more, and they will be providing an automobilist F1 print to the winners of all 3 tiers. Superfun Racing creates F1 merchandise and collectibles. They will be providing the winner of Tier 1 and 2 with a 2023 F1 season calendar of their choice. High Caliber Apparel is an US-based clothing brand established in 2021. They have a close relationship with F1 and will provide a custom champions poster for the winner of Tier 1 and 2. Next Level Racing used to be our title sponsor, and they will be providing an FGT cockpit to the winner of Tier 1 and 2, as well as a giveaway open to all drivers who complete at least 75% of races across the season for an FGT-like cockpit. Pit Stop Prizes is a competition website offering amazing motorsport-inspired prizes such as signed memorabilia, merchandise, GP tickets and more. They will kindly provide a £10 voucher to P2 of all tiers. Lagara Motorsports produce motorsport clothing across a range of collections, ranging from driver hallmarks, tributes and special projects. They will kindly provide one t-shirt of choice to the winners of all 3 tiers. Racetracks Art is a shop where you can find 700 different layouts of racetracks from all over the world. Of course, it's an online shop finished in materials ranging from wood, carbon and neon lead. And they will kindly be providing a custom trophy to the winners of all 3 tiers. RCS GFX is our graphics designer, official graphics designer for Season 8. 60 Iconic is a company that provides F1 canvas art that can be displayed in any room, and they will be providing a canvas to the winner of Tier 1 this season. Reaction Time F1 podcast hosted by your fellow driver Big Homie, where he speaks about all things F1, so make sure to give it a listen, and it will be providing a $25 Xbox gift card to the winner of Tier 1. Mopish USA, our title sponsor for Season 8, which offers high quality gloves that can be used for karting and sim racing, and they will be providing a pair of gloves for the winner of each tier, a 60% off code for the P2 and P3 of each tier, and a 50% server-wide discount code. And Formula Prints finally is a company that produces a wide range of products such as phone cases, posters, mugs and more, and they will be providing the winner of Tier 1 and 2 with an F1 phone case of their choice. Okay, so here we go then with the actual commentary of this penultimate Tier 3 Grand Prix. We have currently Michael lined up in provisional pole position with a 120.754, then Aston Akri, his teammate, follows behind in P2 with a 121.003. While we wait for a few other drivers to set the laps, just like Siroc is doing right now, he sets a 123.748, up into third he goes. Then Real Pixel invalidates. Mikkel is still on a lap, but he's probably on an in lap. We'll go with High Caliber. Just wanted to say, just wanted to let you know what are the standings looking like for Tier 3. Oh, great. Give me a moment. But this has been glitched between 2 leagues, apparently. Luckily, make sure to check. Okay, there we go, should be better now. So, standings for tier 3. We have Mikkel in first, leading the championship with 170 points, and Zakiman with 129 points lines up in P2. As for the constructors, Mercedes has most likely won this with their 251 points. AlphaTauri with 162 points. They're not far away from McLaren on 855 points. But what is important to note here is whoever could win the title. So Zakiman today apparently, if the maths are correct, needs to outscore Mikkel by 14 points. And the gap right now to Mikkel and Zakiman is total of should be 41 points. Should be 41 points. So that means yeah, he's still in range. If you outscore him by 14 points today, he will. I think he will be getting. This is quick math, pretty much. 27 points, a gap of 27 points, which in any case won't be enough to beat him in the standings. He needs to score him actually by 15 points to still be in the title fight. If he gets less points than that, Zakiman Mikkel wins the title. But if Zakiman manages to get to score Mikkel by 15 points, then he'll go to Melbourne in the finale for tier 3. So will be important to see. And then obviously we have pretty much everyone else who has the chance to fight for a P3 in the championship, and that is P3 or P2 in the no, actually P3, more P3. In any case, top 3. Top 3 in the championship could go to Lewis, Mikkel, Zakiman. Then we also have Aston O'Kree, Hugo, Real Pixel, and Brendan. Those are all the drivers lined up for a potential top 3 in the Drivers' Championship. Meanwhile, Petri goes 5th fastest with a 121.507, and as I haven't really looked that much at the current leaderboard, let's go and read that right now. Mikkel is currently setting another lap. Then we have a Zinokri behind on a 121.003. Louis in 3rd on a 121.066. Real Pixel in 4th with a 121.394. Petri in 5th with a 121.507. Dan Super in 6th with a 121.742. Zakiman is out of qualifying in 7th with a 122.164. Axion in 8th with 122.579. High Caliber in 9th as Mikkel decides to abort his lap, so we'll go on board with Hugo. High Caliber then in 9th with a 132.845. Monkey, his teammate behind him, in 10th with a 123.112. Hugo still has to set a lap time, and he's doing so right now. And Brandon is in 12th in the pits without a lap time next to his name. And he's left the pit lane right now. Siberia didn't set a lap and also retired from this session. I wonder why. Probably qualification man or something. But yeah. You may have noticed we don't have any Max Reinhardt in this session. That's because we found out he's done some pretty nasty stuff with pace in this tier, and the FIA has chosen to disqualify him from the season. That's pretty much the reason. Meanwhile, Hugo then crosses the line to set a 120.665, and That pushes Mikel and everyone else down one place, but Hugo there, showing some great pace, showing our response to Mikel and pretty much others. We would like to actually win this title in some way. Zakiman won't be starting the race where he wants to, because he's in 8th right now. Mikel is just 6 places ahead. So yeah. Also, let me already fix the microphone just in case, just a precaution. So Kirkmanek is joined. Axion is on a lap right now. And we have 6 minutes remaining in this session. 6 minutes. Axion then round Parabolica he goes. About to improve his lap time possibly. Yes, he does. He's set at 122.102, jumps Zakiman, but still stays in that top 10, top 5 zone. Brandon invalidated. I think he's on a. He will be on a flight not right now unless he fits. No, he fits. Monkey though is on a lap, and he's already not well for 10th up. He still has to go by sector 2. As Lesnekri actually improved his lap time to 120.699 and gets P2 after that. Mikel may be wanting to actually get something better in here. Meanwhile, Monkey is run Lesmo 1 and then Lesmo 2 right now. So yeah, basically here, if you manage to get a nice place for the race, you should have no issues, as we've seen also yesterday in Tier 1. 5/10 up in Sector 2 meanwhile for the Alfa Romeo driver who goes round Ascari right now. And he's got Aston Cree ahead of him on track. Then we have the AlphaTauri Lewis behind them on track, quite far behind, passing now by Ascari. But the focus is on Monkey D. Brown as he's planning to possibly improve his lap as he goes through the last couple of meters, crosses the line to set at 121.634, which puts him in 7th, behind Petri, ahead of Dan Super, which is not bad for him. Petri, meanwhile, speaking about him, is on lap 1/10 up in Sector 1 as Lewis proceeds to go fastest with 120.214. Petri almost bins it at the exit of the second chicane. Lewis actually managed to go fastest there, which is quite impressive. He almost went below a 120. Mikel is on an out lap, so Mikel probably wants to do something here. Obviously, race pace will be totally different, but you never know. As Real Pixel, I think, completed a lap because he's on low ERS. Who else is on a fast lap? No one. So first person then to complete a lap in here, if my calculations are right, will be Mikel. Mikel will be the first person to complete a offline lap in here. And obviously if you stay in the pits you complete it either way. So, let's go and walk with them and then to go round Parabolica for one last time in this qualifying session. Actually no, he has 2 runs, So it won't be the first person to complete this qualifying session. We'll still have to wait a few more seconds to say that I thought that it was less time. It wasn't seen because there's the continuous yellow flags appearing and I cannot see the timer. Anyway, Mikkel then will have another run, but now he's planning. He doesn't improve in sector 1, which is already worrying for himself. He has a yellow flag ahead. He has an Alfa Romeo ahead. Some traffic he's gonna meet. Goes round Lesmo 2 now. Opens the eyes, gets sunset trim off Petri as he pulls aside, but he continues on to Ascari, and in sector 2 he improves by just 76 thousandths. Monkey Run retires on track, I think, or in the pits, but he did set a pole for sector 2, Mikkel, and is now proceeding to possibly improve his lap time. Otherwise he will not like where he will start, as the two Rebel Academy cars are in the top 2 right now. Meanwhile, Mikkel crosses the line, goes P2 to 120.426, and that I think could be it for his qualifying session. He hasn't got any more time. So first person then to complete this qualifying session will be I cannot see the timer, so I cannot tell. If those yellow flags could disappear, that would be appreciated. So it will be, yeah, Action. First person to complete this qualifying session, Action it will be. Crosses the line to set a 121.796 day speed 10. Then Asina Cree in 4th right now in Ascari exit. Lewis, meanwhile, didn't manage to set another lap. He stays P1 for now. He stays in a provisional pole position, 120.214. Can Asina Cree get that instead? As he gets a bit loose round Parabolica, still manages to keep it clean. Crosses the line to set a 120.592 is not enough to get to still Lewis pole position. High caliber invalidated. Then we have Mikkel, who's not going for a fast lap, I think. Yeah, he's not gonna be enough. Petri on a fast lap though. And he looks to be looking to improve his time, maybe. No, but he may have lost something. As he does. Pretty much the situation here is Lewis, then Mikkel, then Asina Cree, Hugo, Brandon, Real Pixel, Petri, Monkey D. Brand, then Super, Axion, Sirocco, Zakiman, High Caliber, and Siberia. Is your end of the qualifying session then? But we have Lewis starting on pole, then Mikkel, Asina Cree, Hugo, Brandon, Real Pixel, Petri, Monkey, Dan Super, Sirocco, Zakiman, High Caliber, and Siberia. This is gonna go down till I think the last lap here. We're gonna see a nice fight. Mongol drivers in the grid as we go on with the race. 27 laps around this historical circuit, also known as the Temple of Speed, placed in Monza, nearby Milan in Italy, Lombardy. Can anyone do what is said to be the impossible? Can Lewis do a shoey? Well, and I mean like the shoey in terms of the driver's shoey. As we've seen yesterday, he managed to do a Grand Slam got both the pole, fastest lap, and the win. So we're waiting for the drivers to wait then in the grid. We're going now as the 30-second timer starts counting down now. Make sure to, if you want to leave your predictions in the chat, feel free to. I'll be reading them. Even though we're starting with a formation lap. Also, this race could see some weather changes. We don't know when, but it could. We're starting dry though. I don't know if it will change at any point. We'll have to see. But it will surely turn it to be interesting. So then, Lewis starting on mediums, followed by Mikkel on mediums, Asinakri on mediums, Hugo on mediums, Brandon on softs, Real Pixel on mediums, Battery on softs, Monkey on softs, Dan Super on softs, Axion on mediums, Zakiman on softs, High Caliber on softs, and Siberia on softs. So lots of drivers starting on softs, which is quite surprising, to be fair. I mean, there could be weather changes, as I said, but I cannot see the weather, so I don't exactly know when and how. But I can know for sure that this will be interesting, and then we'll go with tier 2 at 8 PM later today. Also, you may have noticed we started quite earlier, and that is because I don't know why, but we did start a bit earlier today. Obviously ending it earlier, that means. But I can already see some clouds forming at there. And if it starts raining right now, it will be really bad. And it does start raining right now. That is not good. I've seen some raindrops. And it could start raining right now. If it does start raining right now, it will ruin lots of driver strategies here. Because the race start will be wet. Anyway, we could possibly see some weather effects, rain weather effects here in a few seconds. But right now, it's lights out time as we wait for a few other drivers to park in the grid slot correctly, and then we'll go. Here we go then. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. This lights out now. Away we go. Essendon gets a great start. Lewis doesn't get quite a great start, but Mikkel is already defending from Hugo. He's trying to go to the inside. Now switches to the outside. Brandon here trying to get places as Mikkel has to go. Actually, Essendon has to cut the corner there and give the place back to Lewis as he does so. It's Mikkel falls behind in P3, already trying to defend from Hugo. He's trying to go round the outside, what will be the outside of the next corner, the second chicane. As they approach then this corner with Real Pixel trying to go through the inside there, and he spins. No, he doesn't spin. Essendon spins though. Essendon does spin. I don't know how, but he did spin. And that's ruined already pretty much his race. But do not give up, they say. We saw a few other drivers spin yesterday, and Toast actually managed to do a last to P3. As then Super also finds himself in the barrier there at the exit of Lesmo too. But up ahead then we have Zakiman trying to get at the place on Monkey here, and he has to wait behind for the moment. He doesn't want to go side by side at Lascari. Seen lots of drivers try to do that yesterday. I mean, try to look for it at Lascari, but never went for it really. apart from the 3 wide at Ascari, which we saw, which didn't really go as planned, if you remember. Anyway, we still have quite some close fighting here. Hugo, Mikkel, Real Pixel, Lewis, Brandon, Zakiman, who now gets to play some Monkey Brand, and Real Pixel gets to play. Oh, what has happened here? And now Petri also goes round turn 2, he spins. Zakiman got really bad out of this. Get a really bad lag out of this. As Mikkel is trying to fight for the lead with Hugo. He has to wait behind. I don't know what happened there, but it seemed like Real Pixel made a move on AlphaTauri, and then suddenly a mess started to happen. Brendan is falling behind here. I think it was with Brandon, the incident. As I can see the rain starting to fall here, we could see some early pit stops already. And I think that's why people went for softs. Petri then getting the move done on Siberia. I was saying anyway, we have Hugo, then Mikkel, Lewis, Real Pixel, Monkey, Brandon, Axion, Zakiman, Esinokri, who's getting close to Zakiman, then High Caliber, Petri, Siberia, and then Super. As Brandon spins again, and that's oh my, creates an even bigger collision between Axion, Dan Super, and Esinokri. So Esinokri basically got distracted by Brandon there, and he actually made a big collision. Axion has to pit now. I think also the weather is coming into play here, because drivers are starting to lose some grip. So just like Zakiman is, as the DRS gets disabled, you can already tell that this is the time people who start to pit for inters. So and that's what Axion does, and he could actually manage to gain something out of this. And then Super also pit for inters. Pretty much everyone will start to pit for inters. Mikkel meanwhile got dropped to P3 after Lewis overtook the Mercedes driver P2. But everyone will pretty much come into the pits now. As we have another spin from Zakiman. Yeah, the drivers may not have the best of their time here. When it gets wet all of a sudden, as Petri spins from the Ascari exit. It is crucial not to spin, otherwise you'll lose even more places since you have to pit. Unless you want to stay out. But no, everyone comes in. For now, everyone comes in. I don't know if anyone will try and stay out. Someone does, and that's High Caliber. High Caliber wants to stay out. That's actually... So does Siberia. Does anyone else do that? No, Petri comes in. Zakiman I think will be coming in as well. Then Super spins once again. So yeah, Zakiman pits and gets a 5-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane. Petri! Oh, never mind. He's pitting now, okay. So, everyone going on inters then, apart from High Caliber and Siberia, who both stayed out to try and gain something, but they won't gain anything, as the track is getting severely wet now, which won't be good for the softs, which will have no grip pretty much. Siberia now proceeds to go for a spin. That's not the best decision he's taken. Drivers will have to be extra careful not to spin, because it will be crucial not to. Siberia now, you can see he's bitched, I think. He's not moving. Yeah, he is bitched. He is bitched in the grass. Poor Siberia. Has he got disqualified now from bargaining on dangerous location? I don't think he liked that. As Brandon, meanwhile, had a spin, I think, something. He's missing a right end plate, so yeah, he probably has had collision with a barrier there. Meanwhile, High Caliber coming into the pits now. As Zakiman spins, and he gets lapped already. Someone got a penalty, I don't know who that was, but Hugo then takes the lead from Lewis, from Mikkel, from Real Pixel, from Monkey, from Aston Cree, and High Caliber here could, and actually, sorry for the confusion here, but Dan Super actually was the one who spun and now retires in the pits. Could High Caliber gain the place on Aston Cree? Yes, he does. So Aston Cree must have lost a lot of time from after the pit stop. So yeah, High Caliber gained some places here, which is actually quite interesting. But now the important thing to note is whether anyone will be able to catch up to the drivers in the same tyre age, same tyre compound, and in the same weather conditions, obviously. Mikkel looks to be catching up just a bit, but Real Pixel is catching up even further. He almost had a snap there at the Ascari exit, but he's still 5/10ths behind. Mikkel is already getting a 1.1 second gap from Lewis, which is not good for the title fight. I mean, he's fighting with Zakiman, but Lewis is not far behind. Even though you won't be able to outscore him, Lewis. Lewis can outscore Aston Cree. Real Pixel is getting closer. Meanwhile, we get a yellow flag in Alaskari for Zakiman. And what happened there? Yeah, nothing else happening right now apart from Lewis wanting to get a place in Hugo. And I know if Hugo will start fighting hard, it won't be. No. Brandon retired. Brandon actually. I think he scratched the kid. So the order then states Hugo, then Lewis, then Mikkel, Real Pixel, Monkey, High Caliber, Aston Cree, Axon Sirocco, Petri, and Zakiman. Everyone can get points now after Brandon retires. Then we have Dan Super, also Houdinef in the pits, and Siberia, who got disqualified for being pitched on outside of Lesmo 1. Zakiman has apparently got a 5-second time penalty, and he pits to serve it. So he now is on fresher tyres, which could help him a bit, even though it's wet conditions, so they don't do that much. But we'll now have to wait a little bit for the safety car to go in until lap 8. I think we'll be a bit later than lap 8, I think, because Zakiman's still not catching up that much. So, lap 9, as Petri goes for a spin, and Axion actually gets dropped from Sinokri. I wonder what happened there. Yeah, lap 9, that's when the safety car will go in. Oh, even further spins, high caliber spins. High caliber spins. After Lesmo too. That's a dry spinning. During a safety car. Quite weird. He goes low during a safety car. Oh, you still spin apparently. As if I'm able, by the way, if I'm able to, I may just go for a quick ad break, so you don't miss the safety car restart, because there should be an ad in 28 minutes, 29 minutes, so... That's not letting me. And it should be good because it's still 28 minutes, so we should have enough time. So yeah. Anyway, safety car will be in this lap 9. And we'll start with the intermediates, light rain conditions, wet conditions and track. Intermediates because obviously rain is not that heavy, but you could cause some issues now because the tires will be definitely cold. Lewis is trying to get some gap here from his teammate as the safety goes in. almost hit him there. Lag the striped. But here we go then for this first safety car restart. I wonder if there will be more, but I doubt it. But honestly, it's the rain, so we could see some more crashes, seeing what happened during the safety car. But you don't know. And here we go then. As Petri decides to hit the barrier, give the barrier a hug, and now it spins. Lewis almost going side by side with Hugo there, who tries to pick up the spin now, and Lewis gets a bad restart to this race. There's a really bad start. Miguel is going already side by side with him to try and get P2 here and possibly fight Hugo there. Zakiman is still in P9 though, so it won't be an issue for the moment. As Real Pixel going meanwhile side by side with Monkey D. Brand at turn 2. There's Student Creed trying to get in this, trying to get in the mix here. He has to wait behind. You know, the rain is not that easy in the rain to get moves done quite easily. But not that far behind now. And Monkey's trying to go for it now. Almost hitting Real Pixel. Has to take. That's good. The inside corner there. And Eastern Creek gains a place on him now. Real Pixel gets dropped to P6 after that. Petri goes into the pits. Probably got wing damage. That's not a good restart for the Haas, who will get to 1 point unless something else happens in this race. It's still up 10 hours of 27, so anything good. realistically. I mean, one Monkey catching up to Mikel, Asnokri catching up to Monkey. So we could see Asnokri trying to go for something as he tries to go now, but he almost bins it. Brown Scurry exit. And by burning EIS, he's catching up on him. Just not by much, not by that much. It's a bit wide now, Asnokri. Tries to gain slipstream from the Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Moves to the inside, outside actually. Now inside, he almost hits it. He still and he spins him round. Oh my! That's not what Mikel would like. He's literally 2 places ahead of Zakiman right now. That is not good for the Mercedes driver. We will probably be having some discussions with Asnokri at the end of this race. Axel now trying to go for it and trying to send it late. He cuts the corner and probably gets a warning for it. I don't know. But Mikel stays ahead for the moment. Oh, that didn't go well for those two. Zakiman now knows he has a chance to go for the possible move of Mikel to try and stay in this title fight. He tries to go side by side Alaskar. He almost succeeds in doing that, and he does succeed, almost spins it, but he stays on track. He does want to get the place of Mikel. He's just 1 place of Mikel. Right now, Zakiman will stay in the title fight. He needs to get 15 points or more to... No, actually, Mikel needs to get 15 points or more on Zakiman to get the title. Will Pixelman Watt has taken the escape road there and rejoins right ahead of Zakiman, who could be looking a problem. Could be looking to be a problem here. He almost touched there. Zakiman gets the place by force and waits behind now. Zakiman looking dangerously close to Mikel. He wants to play at all costs, even though he's already in the title fight. But gaining more points than Mikel will mean something for sure. Also, if Zakiman, I think if Zakiman outscores Mikel by 15 points, he could also jump him in the standings and be in the lead. But then we will still go to the finale. Mikel, to get the title, has to probably outscore Zakiman by 15 points, and then will be over for Zakiman. Brandon now disconnects after not finishing the race. I mean, Mikel quietly is catching up on Monkey Brand, looking to be 3.3 behind Asnokri, who's also who is the only one with a penalty, with a 3-second penalty for track limits, but also not far away from Lewis. Just 2.4, 2.3. It looks like he's closing, but still, now he's on a stable gap. There's still a lot of laps to go, so anything could happen until the end. But for now, this is what Elizabeth stands as: Hugo, Lewis, Asnokri, Monkey, Mikel, Zakiman, Real Pixel, Axin Sirocco, High Caliber, and Petri. Petri, didn't have the best of restarts. He's basically 31 seconds behind the pack. He may be getting really bored right now. But not quite for Mikel though, as he's catching up even further to Monkey Brand. You can tell he's pushing now. try and get back up where he was. And Lewis also now closing up on his academy mate Hugo for the lead of this Grand Prix. And Mikkel right now burning gas, trying to run away from Zakiman, who's closing up on him. Will Zakiman try to send? Yes, he will. He's almost uncertain on it. They touch, but Zakiman stays behind. Mikkel stays ahead, and Mikkel loses some gap now to Monkey. And all of this is letting Real Pix and Miwa just catch up slightly. Zakiman now looking for it, but he decides to stay behind, so as not to cause any further incidents today. And now for another round of trying to get ahead of either Monkey or either Mikkel. Mikkel looks a bit further behind, but now he doesn't, as Monkey had a bit of a snap there round the Ascari exit, and Zakiman is almost on the same exact gap, but Mikkel's gap is closing on Monkey. He could be looking for a move anytime now. Zakiman almost loses it round Parabolica, but he doesn't. And look at him almost losing control there. As he now decides to go round the outside of Mikkel. They go side by side. He breaks later than Mikkel, and they touch. Zakiman has to take to get the corner there, gets a 5-second penalty for it, and I think that's what Zakiman wants. Like, that's yet another instance with Zakiman, his style rival. And Zakiman trying to go for the move again. Mikkel though breaks late this time. He gets a bit of a bad exit. Zakiman though does as well. He ends up on the gravel. Real Pixel catches up now, and he is 6 tenths behind now, 5 tenths. And Lewis, actually not having watched him, but he's closing up on Hugo. And if he closes up too much, he could be trying a move. Or as much as, you know, he's still gonna gain a lot of points from this, and he's still ahead of his championship rival, but, you know, this is an agreement. Wow, I just noticed that. He's closed the gap down from 2 seconds. He decides to go for the pit stop, which is quite weird, but he decides to go for fresh inters. This could be either the best move or the worst move, because there are not many laps remaining, and as much as the inters gain tire wear is not that much compared to dry tires. So either Resident Creek gets really lucky from that pit stop, or I don't think it will go his way, really. Sorry for the disconnection of the microphone again. But now the focus is on Aston O'Crea, whether he can actually catch up big time or not. Oh, as Zakiman goes for a spin, and he damages his entire wing now. No, not the entire wing, but that lost him the potential title on Mikkel now. O'Crea goes past him. Lewis pits. Hold on, I didn't think this would be a pit stop race even on the inters. Lewis pits. Mikkel does the same. Oh, this could could possibly gain S3 a place here. He's literally on the pit exit now. He has more speed than Lewis. Could he try to send it? He doesn't have that much of time. He wasn't that close, but he now is on fresher tires and warmer tires on Lewis' tail, and he could try and move anytime now. Zakiman doesn't pit. He does have wing damage, so it won't take long for Mikkel to catch him. And now everyone following Chris' strategy here and pitting for new inters. 10 laps from the end, actually 11 from the end. It could look either bad or either good. We'll see. Obviously the inters take more time to warm up than dries, but this could look a bit worse for Lewis right now, as Chris is closing on the AlphaTauri driver. And he's just 2 tenths behind him. But Lewis burning gas, and he's pulling away now. And Chris knows this, he's not using any. He has real pixel pits as well, and gets a 5-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane now. As Action there gains the place on him. And so well Lewis and Chris. Real Pixel will end up behind Mikkel here, close to high caliber. No, yeah, just behind Mikkel. We have a further spin there. Zakiman spins again. This is not what Zakiman wants at all. But he's still in the title fight technically, if he finishes this race. But the focus is also on Chris and Lewis right now. Lewis warmed up the tires, it looks like, but Chris is not giving up. He's still less than a second behind. There's no DIS, but there's EIS that you can use in these conditions. Let's hope that we can have a safety car, because there's an ad will pop up in 13 minutes. If I see nothing is happening, I may just go for an ad break and I'll tell you, so we don't just get the race ruined. No, we should be fine. So I think I'll go for a 1-minute ad break right now, and we'll see you in 1 minute. Just so we don't get the race interrupted all of a sudden. Welcome back. So Zakiman, I don't know how many of you got that ad break, but Zakiman pit, so he's in P10 now, and he served the 5-second time penalty he had got, and I think he fixed their wing as well. So not the best race for Zakiman, but at least that got Petri some more points on next to his name. One more than he would normally get. Sorry for the continuous noises, but my throat, I'm still recovering, and it's a long flu here. because I'm still recovering from it. It's just around Italy there's lots of diseases going around, so which is like in the rest of the world. Well, it feels like Italy gets striked more from those kinds of things. As we reached the dead point of the race, I think, where there's no much happening right now. Though Monkey is in P2 right now, Axion in P3. This could look amazing for Ferrari Academy today. Hugo still leading, just like Shu, with the 12-second gap. He's just chilling right now. Then Monkey, Axion, as Zakiman goes for another spin. Rum turn 2. Lewis in P4, then Aston Creed, Mikkel. Zaxon gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. We have Pixel in 7th, High Caliber in 8th, Petri in 9th, and Zakiman in P10. Brandon retired, so did Dan Super, and then Siberia got disqualified from being bitched. As Petri brings out a yellow flag in Ascari, I wonder why. Make sure to get involved in the chat so we can, can get this race more interesting to watch. Just by looking at the gap here, Lewis is slowly catching up on Axin Sirocco. And is now entering the below a second zone. He's below a second on Axion, and he could look for a move anytime now. Nisakuri is also catching up to Lewis. He's already 2.8, 2.7. He's catching up rapidly, actually. He doesn't want to let him go away. Remaining right now. Ferrari ahead. He goes around the inside and gets the move done even before the corner. Now it will be Aston Creed's turn to do that. It won't take long for Aston Creed to do the same. Mikkel has 8 points, Zakiman 1, so they have a 7-point gap, which will still keep Zakiman in the point zone, and now goes for another spin. If he retires, he gets no points, which means Mikkel gets the title. And I think Zakiman knows he doesn't need to retire, because otherwise it will be bad for him, but that's his choice. Him closely behind, so that's actually interesting to see. And Lewis is already caught up to Monkey now. Could be a dirtier effect here, but we're now getting some close gaps in the leaderboard, and we could be seeing some nice action in a few laps. It all comes down to, other than Mikkel and Zakiman, to Aston and Lewis. Lewis is already back into P2. Monkey though doesn't think so. He does want to go for the move, but he decides to wait. And Aston meanwhile close behind Axion. Could try a move anytime now, but it's not as easy as it was with Lewis. Lewis now pulling a 1.3 gap to Monkey. He has to act quickly as in a creep. He wants to get the move as he gets a late break there. He tries to get the place as well. That's not what he needs here. He's getting under pressure, as you can tell. He wants this move done quickly. And now, with enough EIS he's got, Monkey trying to run away. ST trying to get the move done before Ascari, but he cannot and decides to wait behind. Almost drops it out of Ascari. There's some momentum coming out of Ascari. Look at him, he's now close. He could try a move now. As he closes up, he's gaining. He moves around the inside. Could he try a move on Monkey as well? He's too far away for it, but he tries to anyway. And he waits behind. But he gained the place in Axion. And now, up next, he's got Monkey ahead of him. Goes round the inside. Breaks later. Will he get the move nicely done? Yes, he will. He gets a Wu's exit around the second corner of that chicane. And now he's 3.5 seconds from Lewis. He needs to catch up 3.5 seconds to get to Lewis in 4 laps. Will it be possible? Lewis does have 80% of EIS, which is managed to manage quite well. Since it's rain conditions, you don't need to use that much EIS. But you really don't know what could happen here. Zerko is desperately trying to get that gap to close, and he's succeeding in doing that. He's already dropped it by a few tenths. Lewis knows he has to just get this, wait patiently, because he has enough EIS, he can use it to his disposal. Monkey meanwhile pits. And we have another spin from Zakiman. He's now getting lapped twice, probably. Monkey pits for a fresh set of inters, which should help him. Mikkel is also catching up to Axin now. He could try and get a P4 here if he's lucky enough to catch up 6 seconds in 3 laps. Lewis is basically not burning any ice. He's already on 100%. Look how confident he is that he'll be able to keep that gap and to keep that place on ST. On the other hand, ST is trying desperately to get that place. He knows he has to. Oh, as Lewis actually goes in the grass to close the gap down. I think he did that on purpose or something. And high caliber now, 3-second time penalty for track limits. I mean, I think Lewis does that wants to have a fight with ST. Yeah. I don't know. It just went in the grass. It wasn't looking, so either he lost it or he's done it. I don't know. But that closed the gap down to 1.5 seconds. And it's lap 26 out of 27. If anything happens now to Lewis, I don't think we'll be too happy about it. Unless the crease just following him behind, he has to make no mistakes, and he'll be just fine. And just like I said, he's got a 3-second time penalty, another one. Was getting quite loose around Ascari. Zakiman crashes again on Ascari this time. Doesn't DNF from it. That's actually impressive. Last lap then. Last lap of this race. Austin Creed doesn't look too close to Lewis as it stands. Lewis still with enough EIS to use, and that won't be good for Austin. Down. And now it's rising up all of a sudden. My throat is killing me. I had to unmute again. But I think that won't be enough for Resident Cree, though Hugo just managed to do the same thing Shui did yesterday. He wins. Into Rocco, then Mikkel. But will be enough due to penalties. And Action there gets dropped to P5, Mikkel P4. Real Pixel will be P6. Monkey P7. High Caliber P8. Petri P9. And Zakiman spins again for P10. And actually went wonder why, and I wonder if the stewards will have to say anything about it, but Petri also spins round Parabolica now. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of your penultimate rounds of Tier 3. Waiting for Zakiman to cross the line then, to call it a day. Draw of the day goes to Essin Okri then. We'll go with the podium celebration now. Just remember, Tier 3 has still one more race to go, and that's at Melbourne next week. But Tier 2, which is in an hour and 17 minutes, at the same track, will be the finale for Tier 2. Just Tier 3 has one more race to go. Tier 2 will just end it in Monza. Lewis and Estin Okri with that win and podium respectively. As you then your results, your end results for this race. We have Hugo, who didn't actually set the fastest lap. It was Lewis who set the fastest lap, 125.599. And with him, there were only two other drivers who got a 125, and that's Hugo and Mikkel. No one else managed to get on a 125 in here. But we then have Hugo, Lewis, Estin Okri, and that's your top three. Then Mikkel, Sirocco, Real Pixel, Monkey Brand, High Caliber, Petri, and Zakiman, and that's your top 10. Then Brandon, then Super, and Siberia. Everyone is in the top 10 finished. Everyone outside of the top 10 didn't finish. So thank you everyone for watching. Then we'll see you all in our it from me, Luigi, commentary box. I'll see you all tier 3. We'll see. But that is it for today. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you all in an hour and 40 minutes. Bye for now.